Well, hello, you. Deborah here, bringing you episode 4 of With Love, Meghan. And this episode was very strange, even by Meghan standards. Seriously, when I finished this episode, I was like, what did I just see? So, anyway, she starts off by making sun tea. I've never heard of sun tea, so I googled it. So let me know what you know about sun tea. But anyway, according to the Centers for Disease Control, using the sun to brew tea can facilitate the growth of bacteria because the water isn't heated enough to kill any bacteria in the water or tea itself. On the contrary, it's the right temperature for bacteria to reproduce. But hey, this is the woman who stores parboiled chicken directly on the fridge shelf without wrapping it up. You know, salmonella cross-contamination chicken. Also, to get the most flavour out of a tea leaf, you need hot water. So she's basically serving up a bland, lukewarm bacteria cocktail. Yummy. So in this episode, we learn all about Meghan's childhood experience along with her children's of making this bacteria tea. As always with Meghan's tips, time-wasting, time-consuming and tedious. She doubles down on it by going over the whole procedure again for Delphi to have some take-home gifts. You know, somewhat reminiscent of the rainbow fruit platter in episode 2. While talking all about her hikes and all about her, of course. And we get a little voice cameo from Harry. So Meghan learned how to make focaccia bread 2 minutes ago. So now she'll be teaching Delphi. So this episode is not filled with jaw clenches and angry faces like episode 3 when she had to listen to a professional chef. She teaches us all how to make dog biscuits. Time-consuming, tedious, just what every working mum needs to learn. She's dressed in wrinkled beige and birth foot throughout the whole episode, both in the kitchen and in the garden, even on gravel. To sum it up, well, she makes jam and dog biscuits. It's official, jam and dog biscuits. Then it's all about Meghan's life in Argentina and Meghan speaking Spanish. You can see on the closed captions that I've included in the visual that she was speaking so much Spanish that sometimes it was Meghan speaking English, Meghan speaking Spanish, you know, but the amount of Spanish that she's talking, I don't speak Spanish, but I could spin out Donde está and Bueno Bonita and basically what Meghan is doing. The whole concept of this show is to bring on a guest, to give the guest a subject where Meghan can talk all about herself and bring everything back to herself, you know, whether it's Suits, the Tig, Royal Wedding, her life as a mother, growing up in LA, and today's theme is her life in Argentina and speaking fluent Spanish. And she seasons this It's All About Me main course with corny one-liners like her new Instagram hat, let us remain calm. If she can't slip in a one-liner into her monologue, well, she writes it on her blackboard like she did today. Readily or not, here I come. Dear me. When Delphi turns up, she says, finally, you'll teach me how to make focaccia. Yet Meghan said earlier on that she'd only just learned. They really need to compare notes. She has a really annoying habit of referring to food and any other stupid items that she's making as her. Give her a stare. Her food is a woman and she refers to herself and Delphi in the third person. So relatable, not at all annoying. And then just to back up the point that the guests are here for Meghan to talk about Meghan and not for Meghan to talk to her guests. Well, when Delphi actually asks her a question about when did you learn how to make focaccia, she gives a really long-winded answer, but of course, total Meghan style, without answering the question. So they go on a hike, And it was actually difficult for Meghan climbing over rocks and whatnot. I mean, I do wonder if she wasn't still feeling a little bit under the weather from yesterday's booze. Because as always, there was more daytime boozing. Every episode so far has involved daytime boozing. So, you know, you can see on the images that Delphi is like standing up, walking quite easily. And Meghan's like got her hands out on the rocks. I mean, she's almost on all fours climbing over the rocks. So that was a little bit strange. But then when they were back down on solid ground, they were dancing around. And they have a little conversation about how Meghan used to be a scout. I mean, all just like utterly interesting, enthralling tidbits about Meghan's life. And constant references to her life in Argentina and how she hablo española. When they get back home, well, then we have Meghan teaching us how to make lavender towels. I kid you not. So let me know if you could see yourself making lavender towels on a decorated plate one day. They're prancing around, picking herbs and tomatoes in the garden. And then they make a veggie pasta, which the pasta was completely overcooked and all stuck together and just looked like a smushed up mess. So she elevated it with some mint. Next, onto a charcuterie platter, you know, arranging meat on a plate. Of course, Meghan's given all kinds of tips and advice how to mix the flavours and layer the different textures. Dear me. And I'm going to say the most interesting part of the whole episode is at the end when Delphi explains how to make, drink and share mate. I'm literally losing brain cells watching this rubbish. See you for episode 5.